Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason, as always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge. Hey, before we get started, I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy, Phil Henderson. I wish you would whiskey.
Look at that. Got
me a little bottle at the weigh-ins last Friday night.
Did you try it?
No, you know I'm not a big drinker.
I know you don't drink.
Maybe what we'll do. Yeah, I really don't drink at all either. Maybe what we'll do is next time we have him on, I'll take a shot just for him. So I'll save
with
this
him
with him
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. I will do that. So Phil, I will crop this video. I will post it. I will take a shot of this with you the next time you come on. So it's going to stay right there.
Hey, I didn't realize that Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena was supposed to be on this card. So that's a little bit more reasonable why Nunes had to pull out with a positive test.
Yeah, she was supposed to be on this card.
Yeah,
it's still a good card. Like,
dude, it's actually a great card, and we get a break next weekend. Obviously, we couldn't get a break on my anniversary this Saturday, but we got a break next weekend.
It would have been nice to have that break this week.
Yeah, that would have been helpful. While we were traveling.
For those of you that are new for the podcast, we are flying out to Cabo tomorrow morning with our wives, our lovely wives. It's your anniversary Sunday, Saturday. Cherise and I's is a couple weeks from now on the 23rd. So it's like,
sweet, man.
What are we gonna do?
Go to Cabo.
We're having game night on Saturday night.
Bringing card games.
Oh, Hillary and Cherie are gonna kick our ass. Oh yeah. Phillips, what's up, bro? It's good to see you here, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. Should be a good card, whether we get to watch it or not.
It's a good card.
Yeah. Hey, did Cody ever text you back and tell you if that fight was confirmed?
No.
Damn it. We wanted to announce that.
We can't confirm nor deny yet.
All right. Well, he gave us Steven Seiler. Let's just say you message him again, see if we can announce it while we're doing this podcast. So Cody Bunderson dropped the Fierce card for August 28th. And there's a huge fight that is in the process of getting signed. And he dropped one name on there, which is Steven Seiler, who just fought last weekend.
But not his opponent, yeah.
And he didn't drop his opponent, but I promise you it's a big name.
It's not on Facebook yet.
Big local name. So
it's
stay tuned. Maybe we'll get a text from Cody while we're doing this breakdown and we can announce it because
I'm texting him right now.
You're like, we want to know.
Well, I just want to know if I can.
Can we say it? Can we say the name? Just say yes or no. Can we say the name? I want to say it.
I know. See, we're the worst. Now we are the media. I love it when I get people. They're like, "How did you find out about it?" So like one of the fights, like one of the Cole Schaefer fights, like we found out that his opponent had pulled out and that they were looking for a replacement even before he did. And he's like, "How did you guys know about this?" And I'm like, "We're the media, bro."
It is kind of true because we've gotten to know everybody and gotten to be friends with everybody, so we actually know a lot of what's going on locally in our local MMA scene. And for the record, we don't spread it. We don't talk about it on the podcast unless we get the blessings from everybody, from all parties. So, but it is kind of nice to be on the inside.
He just said almost negotiating the last few details as we speak.
Come on, man. All right. Well, he's got a minute. You got about 50 minutes before we go on this other podcast.
Which, okay, you guys, we're doing our breakdown a little early. It's only Wednesday because we're going to Mexico and we're not going to podcast in Mexico. So This is our normal Friday show. We moved it to Wednesday. So if you need, go pause this show. If you're watching this later or listening to it later, go pause this one. Go watch our interview with Trap Gambino. That's going to be at 3:00 today. It's gonna be interesting.
A lot of controversy. We've gotten a lot of people message both you and I. And for the record, we don't think it's disrespectful at all for whatever anybody has to say about the situation. Those of you guys that know who he is and know the controversy, I've actually chosen to kind of stay in the back and not research the story a little bit. I kind of want to hear what he has to say. I know the general aspects of the story, but I don't know all the details.
Hey, our podcast is for the fighters. He just had a fight. He deserves a fair opportunity to come on and share his side of things.
100%. And that
was my take on it.
Yeah, we'll give it to him. So, and
if there's any shenanigans,
I don't think there'll be any shit.
No shenanigans.
I don't think there'll be any shenanigans. All right. Should we break this card down?
Yeah, and I feel very strongly about some of these.
Hey, I just got to give a quick shout out. I know this is an MMA podcast, but I got to give a quick shout out to my good friend Meg Waters from Dialed In Fitness, who won her pro card and figure down in Arizona this past weekend.
Nice.
Shout out, Meg. Congratulations on winning your pro card. Awesome. All right, let's break this card down, baby. Let's get it.
Yep.
First fight of the night. Johnny Munoz Jr. is facing Jamie Simmons, the Afro Samurai. Johnny Munoz is 10-1. He stands 5'9" with a 71-inch reach. The Afro Samurai 7-3. He stands 5'6" with a 70-inch reach. So Munoz, a little bit taller, a little bit longer reach. What do you like in this one?
So here's my official pick is Munoz Jr., but I'm not laying as much juice as there is on it. I feel like it's a closer fight than they're making it out to be. I know Johnny Munoz just lost his first fight in the UFC. They're both coming off losses on their UFC debut.
That was a tough fight, and he probably would have won it had he not got that point deduction.
Yeah,
he did have a point deduction in that fight, and he looks good. He's
good, but Jamie Simmons, his UFC debut came on like a week's or 10 days notice against Giga Chikadze.
Very true.
And he gets knocked out. It's not like he had a really, I don't know, like a fair shot at a UFC win. That was okay, yeah, I'll take this fight. I'm going to take my L, but at least I got a 4-fight deal with the UFC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it was one of those. And I look at both of them. Yeah, Munoz was undefeated all the way through amateur and all the way coming up till then. He's the better fighter, I think, consensus-wise. Just off memory alone, I didn't get enough time to do a lot of research, just memory alone. I don't think he should be almost a 3-1 favorite.
He's
more juice than I'd like to play.
Probably a little more juice for it. I'll agree with that. I will say Jamie Simmons, there's a little bit of a connection because he actually trains with Zack Otto, who just fought Jerome Hatch this past weekend, and that they had a tough fight. So he's up there training with him, that Jamie Simmons is. So
he's at a good camp too, obviously. So,
he's at a good camp. So I
just think it's a close fight. Like the over in this fight or going the distance. I like that.
I like it. I like that. I could get down with that.
I think a nice 3-round dogfight is coming.
So we're both on the same side on that one. Next up, we got Victoria Leonardo against Melissa Gatto. Victoria is 8-3. She stands 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. Gatto is 6-0-2. She stands 5'5", and I do not have a reach listed on Tapology. So I did see a picture of Gatto on Twitter. Wow. She has been putting in some work. She looks phenomenal. She looks like she's in phenomenal shape. She looks like she could compete in the bodybuilding shows. Let's put it that way.
Okay. But what do we know?
Nothing
because she's super inactive. So this is a coin flip, right?
It's her UFC debut too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, because she's had about
had 2, 3, 4 canceled.
4 canceled fights in a row. She has not fought since September of 2018. So we're talking a pretty lengthy layoff here. Coin flip fight. We just saw Victoria Leonardo, earlier this year? Yep, in January. Of this year. And she did lose, but she did have a Contender Series win last November. And I am going to, in a coin flip and something like this, I'll take the more experienced fighter and the more active fighter. Not betting it, not in love with the pick, not married to it, just strictly off. If you're giving me a coin flip, I'll take the more active fighter.
Yeah, she beat that Chelsea Hackett on the Contender Series, who the UFC was touting very heavily. She gets the win there, and then look, she fought a killer in her UFC debut in Farouk. That chick is, I think she was making her UFC debut as well, and she's a beast. I keep going back and forth on this because I want to pick Gatto so bad, but I'm with you on a coin flip fight. I like the odds, and I like the experience. She's been there. She's fought some tough people. She's fought some tough women. that speaks for something. If Gatto comes in there and starches her, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not betting it. So
right, and Leonardo, right? She lost a tough fight to Miranda Maverick.
Yep.
Back in 2018, and she's fought Shannon Sin in kickboxing. She's done Ariel Beck in boxing. Another fight against Miranda Maverick. Like, I mean, she's just a lengthy amateur career.
Is this our cue?
Que pasa, amigos?
Does that mean we can say it, Cody? Can we say it?
I'll bet you he comments it. He's watching. He's going to comment it.
Yeah, he's going to comment and say it. Yeah, go ahead and put it on there and we'll put it up. So we're both on Leonardo. Nice. I like it.
Yeah. 2 for 2. We agree.
No controversy yet. Next up, we got in the bantamweight division, we got Miles John versus Anderson Dos Santos. Chapo is 11-1. He stands 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. Dos Anjos is 21-8. He stands 5'5" with a 70-inch reach. So a little bit longer reach advantage for Dos Santos, and a little bit of age discrepancy. He's 36 years old. Miles John's 27.
Give me the young lion in this one. Give me Miles John. I just think, especially at this weight class, I know I picked against Dos Santos last time. Boom!
There it is, baby. Yes.
Steve Seiler versus Carson Hardman at the end of this month in August at the Maverick
August
Center.
28th at the Maverick Center. Man,
that's gonna be
a great fight.
Hey, kind of Steve Seiler. What happened to retirement, dog?
Dude, he's just rattling them off. He's just rattling them off. Let's just go, baby.
It's like
Let's
old
go.
School days. 2 fights in a month.
Let's go. Walk out in a wife beater and some jeans. Let's go.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that should be a great fight, man.
Thanks for coming on and posting that. That's good. So that's your co-main event at the Maverick Center on August 28th. Don't wait for tickets, dude. Don't wait.
Get them now.
Get them
now.
So that's a big fight. Gosh, that's a big fight.
Pat's card is going to be stacked. At what weight class? I thought he said either
165 or 170.
Or 170.
When we talked to him before. Carson's a 170 or he's a welterweight.
Yeah.
So, see if he can come down a little, because Steve's usually a 155 now. He used to be a 145. Now he's 155. Maybe. And, you've been doing it a long time. Probably doesn't want to keep cutting weight all the time. 170.
170. It is confirmed at 170.
Cody Bunderson.
Let's go.
Right. It's a good fight.
All right. So we are back. We're both on Miles Johnson, right?
Yeah. LFA brought up. That's why we like him, obviously. Hello has a win over Adrian Yanez, who, if you could beat that guy, okay.
Hello.
Miles John's wrestling is pretty dominant.
Steve's gonna put on eat some. Oh, dude, they have the best freaking cinnamon churro.
Oh yeah,
toffee. Oh, yeah. Have you tried Cherie's? Cherie makes that cinnamon churro toffee from Disneyland.
Yeah,
bruh, as my daughter says. She hates you. Yeah, she does. She says I don't say it right. You don't say it right.
You sound like an old person. No, Miles John all day on this. I really like that. What are the odds?
The odds are
like 2-1.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I think he was -2. Yeah, he's 2-1.
Okay,
yeah.
So he's my first leg of my fight night parlay.
Okay, I like it. Next up, we got Manel Cape against O'Day Osborne. Cape is 15-6, stands 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. Osborne is 9-3, stands 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Thanks again, Cody. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks, man. Give me the underdog, Odie Osborne. I've seen Osborne. He's active. He's long. He's got good striking, and flat out, end of the day, haven't seen anything from Manel Cape yet that's made me go, ooh, I really like that guy. He's kind of been a dud his first 2 fights.
And he was supposed to be like the guy coming over when the UFC brought him in. He did lose he probably should have gotten the nod, if I'm not mistaken. His last fight was a split decision, and I believe his his last fight, he had a split decision against that
but
Nikolai. But
but dude, he's supposed to be this killer. He wanted Davison Figueiredo. He wanted the best. He's going to knock out everybody. You should be knocking out Matthias Nikolai. Like then, if you're that guy.
Oh, I agree. I'm all over Ode Osborne. Already locked that one in. That's one of mine.
That's a bet, and that's a DraftKings pick. I mean, Ode Osborne because the value. Because Osborne, here's the thing with him. He is fighting at, in timeout real quick. This fight is it's
at flyweight, but he just fought at featherweight.
Yeah.
In February.
Right.
He's a huge
5'7" at 125. He's a good size flyweight. He's going to be big, long. He's athletic. He's got smooth striking. I'm a
couple triangle submissions on his record.
I think if he stays on the outside and moves his feet, he could pick him apart. He's just avoiding the big shot from King.
Stays on his feet, picks him apart, moves around. Zack. I had to throw that in. I had to throw it in there. I had to throw it in there. You
get that in there. Why would
Jordan Chandler Jordan Smith would be very happy with me for that one.
You say that when we're in the same studio, I get up and I'm choking you in your chair.
Oh man.
See, you work your way out of a triangle choke.
Hillary, shots fired. Okay. All right, next up we got Carolina Kowalski against Jessica Penne. Carolina is 12-6. She stands 5'3" with a 64-inch reach. Penne is 13-5. She stands 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. Odds are pretty much a coin flip. Kowalski's coming off she's lost 4 in a row. And Penne is coming off a win against Godinez, but then she lost 3 in a row before that.
But that was a long layoff. I'm with Jessica Penne, and I'm feeling pretty good at it. I like Jessica Penne here. I don't like the direction that Carolina Kowalski is heading. It's like ever since she got her title fight with Joanna, it's just been downhill from there.
We're the same weight. What are you talking about?
You're bigger than I am right now, dude.
I'm definitely bigger than you are now.
Well, you got like 20-something pounds on me, bro.
You're gonna fill out when we go to Cabo. You'll fill out.
Not that much, dog. No, I like Jessica Penne. I thought she looked really good. I couldn't believe it. Her last fight was only a split decision. I thought she very clearly won that fight. And Carolina she hasn't been able to get her mojo back. I think she's one of those fighters that she got on a nice winning streak, and she, a nice rise to the top. She thought she was ready for Joanna, and then she lost to Joanna. She lost to Claudia Gadeja, beat somebody that's not even in the UFC anymore, got a split decision win again, but she's just shown steadily. I mean, she's lost to tough girls, but I think that's going to be pretty hard confidence wise to, after a 4-fight losing streak, to get back on the win. And I just thought Jessica Penne looked so good and a better version of herself. And I like that she's getting back in there quick and being active again.
Yeah.
She didn't take a break, so I actually feel pretty good about Jessica Penne in this spot. It's a slight underdog.
I actually like Penne as well. And I really like this fight to go to decision.
Absolutely.
So I definitely would be all over the over on this fight.
Over. Yep.
Next up in the light heavyweight division, we have Ed Shortfuse Herman fighting Alonzo Atomic Menefield. Herman is 25-14, stands 6'1" with a 75-inch reach. Menefield 10-2. He stands 6 foot tall with a 76-inch reach. I think I know which way you're going to go on this one.
Do you?
Yep.
Which way am I going on this one?
Well, Menefield trains at Fortis MMA, so I'm thinking you're going to pick Menefield on this one.
I am not.
You're going to go Ed Shortfuse Herman on this one, huh?
I'm going to go with the vet that's going into his 40th fight. He's 40 years old. I follow him. He trains like an animal still. Like, he gets after it in the gym. Like, he does all the right things. He looks like he's in good shape. He should not have won his last fight against Mike Rodriguez,
No.
but he did, and he pulled
did.
off the Kimura, and he's on a little 3-fight winning streak himself. And he's not young, but he's tough. When he loses, I don't know. If you're not an elite guy, you don't really finish him. I don't think Menifield's elite. I just think the vet has enough tricks to get it done. I would take Ed Herman by decision. I think
you might have just changed my mind on that with the value on that. You might have just changed my mind on this.
Plus 195 on our site.
Yeah. I mean, at that odds with that experience, and Menefield, like you said, not a killer. I'm going to ride with you. I think you actually switched my pick on this one. I was all over Menefield on this one.
I think flatlines him in 30 seconds, and you're like,
and then we're both wrong. Should have stayed. All right, I'm on Ed Herman. I like it.
Cool.
More for odds than anything. Next up in the bantamweight division, we got Draco Rodriguez against Vince Morales. Draco is 7-2, stands 5'8" with a 69.5-inch reach. Vince Morales 9-5, stands 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. This should be a very interesting fight.
I think it's a really good fight, but the thing is coin flip. They're both minus 110. So we're flipping a coin again on this fight. And if I'm flipping a coin, I'm going to flip a coin and try and take a guy like Vince Morales, who I think his back's against the wall, and this is do or die for him, and he knows it. I think he loses this fight, he gets cut. That'll be 4 in a row. And Draco might not have that same urgency. Not that he's not going to go out there and fight hard, but I just think it's different when it's do or die. That you got to. Vince has got to go out there and make something happen, and he is the type of guy, too, that I think that fights better with his back against the wall.
I think if I did hear that he changed camps now too, and he's down there in Vegas training at Syndicate because he's an Idaho guy, right? I think he's an Idaho guy, but I know he trained at Syndicate for this camp, which I really like that move to go down there. So, and he's got a great Twitter account too. I do follow him on Twitter. I should have asked him to come on.
Oh yeah, you should have dropped the ball there.
Damn it.
But yeah, I like Vince. Draco's game though. Wouldn't be surprised if he won. I'm not going to be betting this, but to make an official pick, I will pick Vince because like I said, he needs it, or else he's going to be fighting back somewhere else, local shows, Bellator, or somewhere else.
I like it. I'm following. I'm trailing.
Okay.
Next up, in the lightweight division, Rafael Fiziev Ataman against Bobby King Green. Rafael is 9-1. He stands 5'8" with a 71.5-inch reach. Bobby King Green is 27-11-1, stands 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. This one should be a banger.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Lock of the night.
Who you got?
Fiziev.
Lock of the night.
Lock of the night.
You're not giving Bobby King any credit.
Oh, I give him credit as a vet and that's been doing it for a long time, and I think he gets steamrolled. How about that?
Yeah, Fiziev has looked pretty damn good his last three.
He's looked ridiculously good his last few fights. Yeah. And you know what? Green was so active last year. I think he just kind of ran out of gas against Thiago Moises. By the way, I still thought he won that fight. And I know you picked Moises and I picked Green, and I still think Green won that fight.
I do too.
Yeah, you piece of crap. No, I think I don't know. Bobby Green's good, but he's old. He's 34. He's been in the UFC a long time. And I think those young guys at 155, Fiziev's a killer, dude. He's terrifying. I think he knocks him out. I think
he didn't train at Tiger for this one too. I also heard he's training at Sanford MMA.
Yeah.
So he's
just becoming a juggernaut of a team.
I'm all over Fiziev as well. Next up, we got Song Yadong against Casey Kenny in the bantamweight division.
This is such a tough fight to pick.
Oh man, that's why it's a coin flip.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, look at this. Fiji met Bobby Green at Street Beefs. Was he fighting?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah, free.
Song Yadong is 16-5-1, stands 5'8" with a 67-inch reach. Casey Kenny 16-3-1. He stands 5'7" with a 68-inch reach as well. So this is about as even of a fight as you can get between these two.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm like, Casey Kenny's wrestling's better. But yeah. Here, I think Casey Kenny's a better wrestler, but Song Yadong's at alpha male. You know, he's got plenty of bodies that are getting him prepared for this fight. Right? Man.
This one's tough.
I'm leaning Song Yadong. I'm leaning Song Yadong because of the camp that he's at, Team Alpha Male.
See, I'm leaning the other way because I think where's Casey at?
I actually was looking it up when I was doing my research this morning.
I don't think it's on. I think he's somewhere else.
Rise Combat Sports.
Yeah, but I want to say he's somewhere else. Anyways, I like the way he looked against Dominic Cruz. Even though he lost that fight,
yeah,
it was a split decision.
So here's the thing. I get that, but I kind of feel like Dominic Cruz is over the hill, and that's a fight. If like Casey Kenny's really like arrived, he wins that fight, and kind of convincingly. And
yeah,
like Song Yadong, I don't know. I didn't think Song Yadong won his last fight though either. So I know the judges gave it to him.
Yeah, that's right. This is a tough one, man.
It was the Chico Vera fight.
This is a tough one.
It's a tough one, and it's a tough fight, but I am going to lean towards the Kung Fu Monkey.
All right, we'll disagree on this one. I'm going to go Casey Kenny just to disagree. Odds are
not betting it.
No. Is it fight goes to decision? It's pretty. Vegas is saying this going to decision, minus 164 to go to decision.
I would bet that is the bet. The over the decision prop, whatever. I
like it.
Yeah.
Next up, we got in the strawweight division, Tishia Torres, the tiny tornado, is fighting Angela Overkill Hill. Torres is 12-5. She stands 5'1" with a 61-inch reach, and Overkill is 13-9. She stands 5'3" with a 64.5-inch reach. I don't care. Fiji used to train down there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Not only am I picking Tishia Torres, I love Tishia Torres in this spot. She's beat Angela Hill once back on the Ultimate Fighter days.
Yeah.
Or around then, right after the Ultimate Fighter.
I think it was right after, yeah.
Angela Hill was still pretty green then. You know, she didn't have a lot of experience. But, you know, Torres has looked incredible her last two fights.
She really has. Sam
Hughes is a young prospect they brought in on short notice for her. She beat the brakes off Sam Hughes. And Sam Hughes was outclassed, and Tishia did what she was supposed to do. But I think that's a good sign from a vet, is doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And she beat the brakes off her. That was the most aggressive I've ever seen her. If she does that, she overwhelms and beats the brakes out of Angela Hill too. She's a good point fighter, and she's good from fighting around the outside. But Tishia Torres is such an aggressive wrestler and once she gets into the ground, but she showed a level of ground and pound, a lot like Carla Esparza in her last fight, of just being more aggressive and violent and vicious. I actually really, really like Tishia Torres in this spot.
I'm going to go against you on this one too. I'm going to take Angela Hill.
Wow, really?
When I first looked at this, I was all over Tishia Torres, but then I'm looking at it. Hill just beats 4 months ago. She beats Ashley Yoder. She loses a split decision to Waterson that I thought she won. Loses a split decision to Claudia Gadelia that you could have made an argument that she won that one too.
Yeah.
That would put her on a 5-fight win streak. I didn't even go back if it should have been more than that. Let's go back and look. I mean, if those split decisions go the other way, she's on at least a 5-fight win streak.
Yeah.
And
but I just look at Tishia, and she went through her own 4-fight losing streak, but 3 of those were to Jessica Andrade, Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and Weili Zhang.
No slouch either.
It's like, I feel like she's been losing to the tougher opponents.
Flip a coin.
So I mean, it's a close fight, but
Yeah,
I actually think Tishia Torres is the better fighter. Here's the other thing that you have to remember too. Tishia Torres is all in on fighting, right? Her girlfriends fight. Her girlfriend fights. She fights. It's their lifestyle. Angela Hill is, yeah, I'm not saying she's not focused on fighting, but she has a nice little career on the mic now too, right?
It's a good point.
And I think that pulls away from it a little bit. I really do. Like, DC at the end of his career, Paul Felder, like it's not, and Dominic Cruz, it's not that you can't be a great fighter, but I mean, yeah, give me at this level where you're splitting hairs, give me the person that's eat, breathe, sleeping, just fighting and training versus the person that's worried about, going to do their makeup to do a spot on ESPN.
I don't hate it. I'm just going to disagree with you.
That's fine. It's going to be a good fight.
Next up, this is going to be a banger of a fight. Welterweight division, Vicente Luque and Michael Chiesa. Luque's 27-1. He stands 5'11" with a 76-inch reach. Chiesa is 17-4. He stands 6'1" with a 75.5-inch reach. You got the number 6 welterweight against the number 8 welterweight. Winner of this is you're throwing him up there, right? Top 5.
Oh yeah. Possible
title contention, maybe another fight after that.
The top is such a mess of that division, but 40.
Yeah,
right. This fight is so hard for me to pick.
Very hard.
Because I think really highly of Vicente Luque. But I think Michael Chiesa is just, I think he's a man on a mission right now. And I could not believe the way that he ragdolled Neil Magny for 5 rounds.
That was impressive. And Neil Magny just beat, who did he just beat? Freaking, which makes that win look even better. He beat
Jeff Neal.
Yeah. Jeff Neal.
And I look at the run that they're both on, and they're both, I mean, I think it'll be a really good fight, but RDA's looked a lot better lately. He beat RDA, but it's not just the way he beats him, he ragdolls him.
Yeah. Can he get a hold of Luque? Can he get a hold of Luque to get him down?
Yeah, I think he can. I think he can, and I think that's where I see Chiesa's the bigger fighter. He's 6'1",
he's
still
big,
at 170. The fact that he used to make 155 is mind-boggling.
Isn't it crazy that Luque has the reach advantage though?
Mm-hmm.
You got a 2-inch height advantage, but Luque is going to come in with a 1/2 inch reach advantage. But Chiesa definitely he's the bigger human in the cage that night.
And when it comes to grappling, Chiesa is going to be the bigger man. I mean, I actually think this is a really good spot for Chiesa to. I mean, if Chiesa goes and puts on another dominant performance, you could argue that he's next in line.
That'd be 5 in a row. I mean, both of these guys are 4 out of their last 5.
Great fight. But I think I just put on my notes, Chiesa ground control. If he can get that body lock and get that takedown, it's over, dude. Luque's he's got it. But Chiesa's striking isn't like Luque doesn't have here's maybe this is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Vicente Luque's striking is better, but slightly better.
Yeah.
I think Chiesa is levels above him on the ground. Where I think Chiesa can hang long enough on the feet, but if it goes to the ground, it's all Michael Chiesa. And this is one of those fights that I'm so sure about it that I'm probably wrong.
It's usually the way it goes.
What
would you say? So I was reading something that somebody was saying on Twitter. I was watching a YouTube breakdown because I like to see what other people's opinions are.
Sure.
They thought Luque had fought the better competition, but I'm looking at it and
I don't think so.
I mean, Chiesa just beat Neil Magny, which is a great win because Neil Magny just dominated Jeff Neal. That's a huge win. Rafael Dos Anjos a year and a half ago. Dos Anjos has been looking good. Yeah. Those are just the last 2 fights. Luque beats a washed-up Woodley who's going to fight one of the Paul brothers. He beats Randy Brown a year ago. He beats Nico Price. Those are his last three.
And Nico Price
I mean, he loses to Stephen Thompson and he beats Mike Perry split decision. That's the last 5.
Man, see, and beating Mike Perry only by a split decision, not a great look.
Yeah, Chiesa beats Carlos Condit by Kimura 2.5 years ago.
Submitted Carlos Condit. Crazy.
Diego Sanchez decision, and then Dos Anjos decision, Neil Magny decision. Is it safe to say this goes to decision? Does anybody get finished in this one?
Fiji thinks that Mike gets knocked out.
Fiji
for this?
What?
I'll go Chiesa by submission.
What's the prop on that bad boy? What is the prop on that bad boy? Fight goes to a decision -118. Chiesa by TKO. Luque by TKO.
I'm going to get so much hate on this.
Plus 600. Plus 600.
Ooh, sprinkle.
Luque plus 250 by KO.
Time to sprinkle a little. Dude, I might get some hate for this. I have the Brewers game on. Brewers and Pirates game on. Just whatever. Just on in the background in my office.
Okay.
This guy's like 300 pounds and looks like he couldn't make it to first base without stopping for some Cheetos. How do these baseball, like some of these guys, like I get they're a professional athlete. They're more of a professional athlete than I am. But then in some ways I'm like, is he really? Because like, what are we doing here, dude? What are we doing? I don't know.
Well, they shouldn't be losing to the Pirates. That's one thing.
Well,
anyways, so we're both on Chiesa. We've already talked about this fight. I like Chiesa. I'm echoing what you say. The ground control. I think he gets it to the ground, and yeah, that should be a really good fight.
I just think he's a monster on the ground.
He's a monster. Only going with Luque because that's how you actually pronounce my name. Luque. All right. That's fair. That's fair enough.
I'm going to start calling you Vicente.
Vicente. That's your new nickname. It's not Fiji
Vicente.
anymore. It's Vicente.
Vicente Fiji.
Dude, that Fiji's fight in September.
Bro,
like, listen, if you guys haven't got just start pre-ordering your tickets right now for that next Steel Fist card. Holy crap. That's going to be a banger. Next up with the co-main event in the bantamweight division, Jose Aldo. I don't know how he's not 80 years old by now. He's 29-7 against Pedro Munoz.
Hey, he's younger than TJ Dillashaw.
Doesn't it seem like he's been around for like 20 years?
When I saw that and posted that, I'm still trying to figure that out.
I'm like,
what?
Dude, he's only 34 years old. Like he still could make another run. He's been fighting since 2004. 2004. I mean, just WEC's fought everybody. Cub Swanson, Mike Brown, Uriah Faber, Manny Gambarian, Mike Hominick, Kenny Florian, Chad Mendez, Frankie Edgar. He's beat all of these guys.
Yeah, he beat all
Sung Jung, Ricardo Lamos, Chad Mendez again. Right. Loses to Conor McGregor, beats Edgar, loses to Max Holloway twice, Stevens, Moicano. Dude,
crazy.
Gave Jan a fight. You can say what you want, even though he lost. He was in that fight with Jan.
Till the fourth and fifth round.
Till the fourth and fifth round, he was in that fight.
So that's where I've said, I don't think he can make another run at a title, but I think he's still Jose Aldo, and he's a monster for 3 rounds. But if you can get him into the fourth and fifth round, that's where he fades. So that being said, how many rounds is this fight?
It's 3 rounds.
Exactly.
No, is it 5?
No, it is 3.
Yeah, it's 3. Yeah, it is 3.
And I am all over Jose Aldo in this fight, and I think he wins by dominating or knocks him out.
I like it. I actually like it a lot.
I'm all over Jose Aldo. I even put Aldo love 3 exclamation points on this one. I love Jose. And at -115, that is a gift.
That's a steal. All right, here we go. Main event. Interim heavyweight title fight. The Black Beast.
All the people hating on that, it's a good thing.
It's a great thing. You talk about getting fighters paid more money. There you go.
Dana needs to pay fighters more.
There you go.
Interim titles are stupid.
Like this guy's going to get pay-per-view revenue. He's the champ. Like, come on now. Come on now. This is
The
a
winner.
win-win for both
Yeah.
of these guys.
And you know what else this does? Sorry, you know what? Do your breakdown first. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just
Okay.
yeah.
Here's the other thing that this does. It forces Francis to get off his butt and not. I think Francis was going to go, you know what? I'm going to just sit back and wait for John Jones. I don't have to sign a contract with Derek Lewis. I'm just going to say 3-run homer by the Brewers.
Wow.
McTubby just put it in the upper deck in right field.
You know who Zack had money on today. Can you make it any more obvious, Zack?
Not exactly, but that was pretty cool. Anyways, no, dude, I think Francis really thought, you know what? I don't think Francis wants to fight Derek Lewis.
Did you?
I'm just going to say it. I don't think I'm not saying he's afraid of him, but I think he has a healthy respect. He knows that Derek Lewis is the one guy that could one punch knock out Francis.
Well, you saw that in their first fight. They both just sat there and
they froze,
looked at each other.
Because Derek Lewis has no problem sitting back and waiting.
None.
And we've seen it time and time again.
Yep.
And he'll sit there, and against Curtis Blades, he executed it perfectly. And against Volkov, he sat back and waited. And he's very good at it. He's very, very good at it. Well, that's Francis's kryptonite. And I think Francis knows that. And Francis, I think, is afraid because Francis waits for you to swing first. And then as soon as you overextend on a punch, then he gets going downhill. And it's over. Derek very rarely swings first.
MMA math equals Gane. MMA gods, Gane. Enter Derek Lewis. I don't think anybody says anything.
The best meme. Have you seen the one that it's like the striking, the precision, everything favors Gane.
Fight IQ.
Result. Lewis wins by 3rd round knockout. You know, here's the thing. If I'm putting money on this, there's no way I'm betting against Derek Lewis because last time I did that, Curtis Blades cost me a bunch of money. I thought that was the walk of the century.
I read a stat and I didn't get to check it, but I read that he's like 10-0 in Houston. Derek Lewis
never lost 11-0.
Never lost in 11 in Houston. Yeah,
never lost in the state of Texas.
Wow.
Okay, never lost in the state of Texas. Not that really matters because to me, not that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah,
there are some stats that are relevant, and then there's some that are just like fun coincidences that aren't relevant. I feel like that's a fun one because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the cage is set up. If it's in Houston, Texas, Las Vegas, Minnesota, or Ireland, Derek Lewis he's still locked in a cage that's the same size, right? It's like I'll never forget that the Jazz had a stat. They beat the Spurs in San Antonio for the first time in like 23 years or some nonsense or whatever.
Yeah,
and it was like, why is that relevant when like every time they went, they had a different roster and so did the Spurs? Like, I just didn't see how it was relevant.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things, like it's a fun stat, but not super relevant.
Did you know Gane has been training with Francis? Him and Francis have been training together. They're like buddies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang out together, train together, which makes it for a very interesting title fight if Gane wins.
In all reality, Gane should win this fight. He's the more technical. He has, even though he's only 9-0 in MMA, Derek Lewis is 32 fights. Gane has more kickboxing experience and stuff. We both know neither of them are going to try and take the other one down. Wouldn't that be crazy? Derek Lewis comes out and shoots like a blast double leg. He could. He was a defensive tackle for the University of Texas.
Very well could.
But, you know, Derek Lewis, if he's in shape, I just think plus 300 is crazy with somebody like Derek Lewis because all it takes is one. So, yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of money on Derek Lewis at plus 300. And if he loses, be okay with it. Here's the question, too. I've seen nothing but discipline from Gane.
He's the future, man.
You know, and so if he stays disciplined and stays on the outside and picks Derek Lewis apart, I think it'll look very similar to the Volkov fight where, because remember, Volkov was winning, picked him apart. He was going to win 30-27 comfortably. And then he got a little cute and Derek Lewis landed that monster right hand on his chin, put him out with 11 seconds left in the fight. So does Gane make that mistake? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Am I going to bet minus 375 against Derek Lewis? Never.
Nope.
Never. You'd be crazy to.
I'll throw I'll throw a little cheddar on Lewis by KO at plus 430.
Yeah.
And I mean,
well, he's not winning a decision, and he's not submitting him.
He's not submitting. Gane could submit him.
Sure. And we've seen that before.
He has submission plus 750 on that.
Sneaky, and he hasn't shown it in the UFC, but he does have a ground game.
I think he's the future. I don't like the odds. I don't, like you said, I do not agree with him being minus 335. Say what you want. Like, put some respect on the name.
Yeah.
Come on, now. Come on.
I just want another he's okay meme. He's okay.
I'm picking Gane, but my heart is I mean,
that's the beauty of Derek Lewis. Everybody's cheering for him.
If he wins in Houston, that place is gonna go nuts. Yeah. Like, I mean, he is. Yeah, it's gonna be unreal if he ends up pulling this off. I'm going with the guy that just checks all the boxes, man. I mean, I know the X factor. I know the X factor. My pick is Gane, but I am not going to be upset if Lewis
Alexander Volkov versus Marcin Tybura was just added to UFC 267 on October 30th.
And they announced Strickland and Rockhold. I think it's UFC
in 268 on November 6th.
November 6th.
Dude, that
put the odds on that. Sean Strickland. We're all in. I'm
all in on Sean Strickland. But no, it's going to be fun. Hold your breath and wait for Derek Lewis to try and land that bomb.
This is a really good pay-per-view.
By the way, for the record, Jason and I have both been on Gane since he was 5-0 and said he's the type of person that could actually beat Francis because he's so good and so skilled.
Hey, we're bringing pads and gloves. We're gonna have a good old time on the beach.
Yeah. You see some damage plan stuff. So
get a little training in there.
All right, folks.
Yeah, click over. We're gonna jump on this other podcast in less than 10 minutes. We're gonna jump on there with Trap Gambino. So should be very interesting one. Buckle up, folks.
Carson Hart and Steve Seiler, Maverick Center, August 28th.
Love it. Love both those guys too. They're both studs. See you guys. We out.